Hello everybody, I hope everybody's doing great today. Today is Tuesday and we are going to be in Zone 5 this week. Very exciting, Zone 5. Okay, this is the FlyLady cleaning system. If you're not familiar with it, I did want to show you this. If you go to FlyLady.net, this is called the launch pad. And if you even can scroll up a little bit, and there's a little bit more down here, but all these things are her launch pad. That one is a sneak peek, I think it says, and detail cleaning. This one says zones, flight plan. Those are your most important ones. If you're new to the FlyLady system, these things will be very important to you. So I just want to tell you about that. And you can click on those and go and look at her website. Her website can be a little overwhelming and can be a little confusing. I do not have a website. I don't know anything about making a website or anything like that. So I'm not going to disparage her website. I'm just going to say that there are some people who find it to be a little confusing. And so in that vein, I have been using this sheet, and I've gone over this sheet several weeks now, from thesecretslob.com, thesecretslob.com. It's Steph from Canada. She's absolutely adorable, and we're going to go over Zone 5 today. Now, the way FlyLady sets this up, we're in the 5th week of the month, but tomorrow is going to start the next day of the next month, right? So we're going to do, the way FlyLady has it set up, we're going to do a little bit in one zone and a little bit in another. But what I'm going to talk about is just Zone 5, because I feel like it gets in the weeds and it gets a little confusing to do a little bit over here and do a little bit over there. I think what we can do is we can just do Zone 5 for this week. So if you want to go ahead and start Zone 1 as well, if you get Zone 5 done and you want to move to Zone 1, I will be glad to tell you what Zone 1 is. It's the entry hall and the dining room. Entry and the dining room. And that would also include your porch. Entry and dining, and that would include your porch, okay? Your front porch. Okay, but we're gonna talk about Zone 5. So I'm gonna zone in right here on Zone 5. I'm gonna do this really close. You can screenshot if you want, and so you could have this on your phone so you would know exactly what is in Zone 5. And I think Steph does her zones a little bit differently than FlyLady does, and that's fine. In fact, you can do zones the way you want to do them. If you want to do 4 or 5 zones and figure out a better way for your house, I just follow these because this is just the way I do it. I like Steph's plan, thesecretslob.com or Secret Slob on YouTube, okay? There is no "the" on YouTube, it's just Secret Slob. Okay, so Zone 5, real quick. I have tried to do this video, this will be like the 4th time, and the phone it just kicks me right on out, and then I don't have a full video. So we're gonna go real quick. Dust windowsills and doors. Dust lamps. Straighten bookcase. Clean your furniture, or in my world, that's just dust, okay? Just dusting. Do your windows. Shower your plants is what Steph calls it, and I just water my plants normally. I don't put them in the shower, but you do it how you like to do it, okay? Stair spindles, so if you have a stairway, going up or going down and you've got spindles, clean those, or even like the baseboard thing that's at the bottom, you could do that. The baseboards in the room, vacuum, and mop, okay? So that is our Zone 5. Now, if you'll notice, she has these 15-minute increments here, and she also has blank spaces here. So if you need to write things out to the side here, if you want to if you just want to write this down, or if you didn't want to print it off, but it's very easy to go to thesecretslob.com and find her resources and print these off. And then you can, if you don't have a printer though, you could just write it down. But if you've got extra things you need to do in those areas, then you just write it out there, and you can just put all this on a piece of paper if you need to, and work on that through the week. And so she's got everything in 15-minute increments. Now, what I like to do is take what's called the weekly home blessing, which I've done a whole video on, and put it next to the zone cleaning. So this way, we're gonna kind of get it all done in one fell swoop. I don't like to spend hours doing this, okay? So weekly home blessing is about an hour worth of time, and depending on the way your house is, it may take you more or less, but you just do it on your timetable. Now, the way FlyLady says to do it is to set your timer and do every task for like 10 minutes or something like that. So that would take you about an hour in that way. But like for me, emptying garbage doesn't take me 10 minutes. So I just don't even deal with the timer. But timer's good if you're new at this. If you're brand new at this, it's really good to deal with a timer. Okay, so weekly home blessing. I've done a whole video on this, but it's changing sheets, doing the mirrors. What does that say? Vacuum, mop, empty garbage, and dust. Vacuum, mop, empty garbage, and dust. I'll put it up there close where you can see it. That's the weekly home blessing. Now, how do I butt these two together and get it all done at once? Okay, this is how. So when she says mirrors on weekly home blessing, and then she says windows over here on zone cleaning, well, where'd my cloth go? Here it is. I take my purple cloth, and you can use any kind of microfiber cloth. This happens to be a FlyLady cloth, I'm sorry, from FlyLady.net. She does sell these. These are great, actually. I take my microfiber cloth, I dampen it, and I use it on my mirrors for my bathrooms, and then I go into the zone and I work on my windows. So this zone, we're talking about a hallway. So for me, it's the entry hall. I'll just tell you, I'm a little confused about what she means by a living room and a hall. I don't really have a hallway, but I do have an entry hall. So in my entry hall, I have windows from the front door. So I could do the interior and the exterior very easily just by dampening this cloth. It's not going to be sopping wet. It's going to be a little bit damp, and it's going to dry on its own, and it's not going to be streaky. And then I would go into the living room, or at our house it's the den. We've got a window that's in a door, and then we have one other window. And so I could do the front and the back of that window and that door. That's the door, that goes into the house. And then I would do that one window, if that makes sense. So I just do like this. I showed you before, like this, or this way. But we don't do this. This gets really streaky and messy. Okay, so we have to be careful with our cloth. You can also do this just with regular window cleaner and paper towels. Or I know some people like to use vinegar and newspaper, or whatever makes you happy. However you do your windows is fine. I like to do this because it is so simple, and I only need water, and I don't have to have anything else, and I can just dampen it. I don't need a lot of water, and it gets several done at once. And then if I need to dry it, I can use the other side, or kind of like undo and then do back. You see what I'm saying? Unfold, fold, unfold, different direction. Okay. Not difficult. Okay, so how else can we kind of buttress these things together? Okay, so in the weekly home blessing, one of the things we're doing is vacuuming, but it's a quick vacuum, and it's the main, it's the high traffic areas, because you cannot possibly vacuum your entire house in 10 minutes, right? And I said it was like 10 to 15 minute increments, right? It would be 10 minutes. So how do you butt these two together? Well, okay, so we're living room and hall, as she says, or like I said, for me, it's entry hall. So I would vacuum my living room or my den, and I would vacuum my entry hall. And I would vacuum it pretty well because I'm in the zone for that week. And then that would be high traffic areas too, as well, right? So I might also need to run through my kitchen real quick and just do a really quick vacuum in there for the weekly home blessing. And I might also need to run through my dining room, because my entry hall and my dining room connect. So it doesn't kind of make sense to do one and not the other, because they just flow right into, there's no doorway or anything. There's an opening, but there's not like a door. So it just flows. So it kind of doesn't make sense to vacuum one and not the other. So that would be a high traffic area for me. So basically my high traffic areas, as far as the dusting and the vacuuming and the mopping go, the den, the kitchen, the dining room, and the entry hall. That would be my, and then like the sunroom, a lot of times I'll vacuum in there too. It's a really small room. It's like a 8x8 or something. It's a tiny room, but that's where the back door is. So it would also be, a little bit dirty there. Okay. So weekly home blessing again is changing sheets, emptying the garbage. You can run it around pretty quickly, empty your garbage. The mirrors that we already talked about, the dusting. It's the dusting of the main areas. So again, she's talking about your living room and your hallway, or your den and your entry hall, however you want to look at your zones. And so you get your cloth or your Swiffer duster or your Swiffer cloth, or however you love to dust, whatever's best for you. And I know you're probably saying, I don't love to dust. That's okay, you don't have to love to dust. But you can just run through very quickly. We're just doing high traffic areas. We're not dusting the entire house. You don't have to go into every single bedroom and dust. you know, we'll have a bedroom zone, and you can pick bedrooms that you want to dust during the bedroom zone, if that makes sense. So there's all these different zones. I can go through the zones really quick. Okay, zone 1 is your entry and your dining. Zone 2 is the kitchen. Zone 3 are the bathrooms. Zone 4 are the bedrooms. And zone 5 is the living room and the hall. So those are your zones. And with your house, it might be a little different. And so you might be saying, well, how do I ever get, you know, I have a 5-bedroom house. How do I ever get to all my bedrooms? Well, you would just have to pick, you know, you might have to do a really quick vacuum. Let's say when you get to your bedroom zone, you do a really quick vacuum in those bedrooms. Even if it's 5 of them, it doesn't actually take you all day to vacuum those rooms if you can keep things sort of picked up. So that's another kind of thing that goes along with it. If you can kind of tidy up once a day or once every 2 or 3 days or something like that. So that way you can actually get to the floor. If you've got children playing with toys in their bedrooms, it's going to be hard for you to get to the floor. But if you can kind of talk them into tidying with you, and you don't want to be stepping on Legos and stuff anyway, or little, you know, little doll heads or doll parts or whatever, then that will just help you. If you can kind of get your kids to be tidying along with you, if that makes sense. You know, don't say to your kid, go clean your room. You go in there with them and you help them make it fun, play some music, dance around, have a little fun, sing with them, dance with them, throw the toys in the toy box, or, you know, shove them in the closet, whatever it takes to get the floor clean so that you can vacuum the floor. Because this is our end game, right? We just want to vacuum the floor and move on with our lives. And really, the less stuff you have on the kids' walls too. Not that we want to just be total minimalist, but if you are, that's fine. I watch tons of minimalists. But if you want things on the walls, that's great. But just realize you're going to have to dust more stuff while you're in there doing your bedroom zones. Okay, so the more stuff on the walls, the more stuff you got to dust. Anyway, I hope this is making sense. I feel like since I've done this video 4 times now that this is probably not making sense, but it's as good as it's going to get at this point, and it hasn't cut me off yet. So I'm going to say goodbye. Love you guys. Thanks so much. I have a new viewer, and to Joanne from Mississippi, I hope the next video makes a lot more sense than this one does. I'm going to work on some of the things that you asked for. Feel free to comment. Leave me any sort of comment. Tell me anything you want me to talk about, or you want to just, whatever you want to discuss in the comments is fine. And hopefully I'll see your comment and get back to you. All right. Have a great day. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.